I'm very happy to be in MGM University, especially it's my department, Department of Media Studies, it's the Journalism Department. So to spend some time with you, it's a great privilege for me because I might have interacted with thousands of journalism students across the country and across the globe. So MGM University is one of the renowned universities of the country, and we have high respect and regards towards this university. And you have an excellent media department also. That's why I'm very happy. You have a very renowned department, and the alumni of this department, they are placed very well throughout the globe, not only in India. I think they are working abroad also. And they are the national media, which is a great honor to any education institution. So before I think I start my subject, I think it is my privilege to inform all of you that MGM had signed an agreement, a memorandum of understanding with Bridgewater State University in the United States of America, which is a public university. It's a government-owned university. And the alumni of Bridgewater State University is very strong. The way they contribute every year for the development of that university, Bridgewater State University, the alumni, students who got the degrees from Bridgewater State University, they contribute up to the tune of thousands of USD, United States dollars, and they are very well placed. Bridgewater is around 40 kilometers from Boston. I think all of you may be familiar with Boston. Boston also has a university. So this Bridgewater University, it was established earlier to train teachers. And finally, now it has become a public university where Department of Media Studies is very strong there. So MGM, I think last February, the Honorable Vice-Chancellor of MGM University and all our with his colleagues, they were in Bangalore, where there's a very big convention called Academic Alliance, where MGM also signed an MOU with Bridgewater State University. And now there's an agreement that MGM, students of MGM can spend one semester in Bridgewater State University. That's the agreement. So if you complete the 3 semesters in MGM, you have an excellent opportunity of spending one semester in Bridgewater State University, where you can learn quite a lot of things, including corporate communication. They are very strong in your media laws, cyber field, and they are very strong in different subjects related to media. And one advantage is with Bridgewater State University. I think Bridgewater State University is granting 10,000 USD as scholarship for students, only for students of MGM University. Bridgewater, are you getting my point? Bridgewater State University has extended an offer for all other international students. They give 5,000 USD as scholarship, but only for students of MGM, they have given an offer that they are going to give you 10,000 United States dollars as scholarship for a semester. Semester will be, as you know, it's for 6 months. So other fees, if you can afford, it is a golden opportunity for you to study in Bridgewater State University, where you will get an international dual degree. Both MGM and BSU will award you joint degrees, and which will be renowned and which will be recognized at the international level. This is the arrangement which we are doing, and I think all our colleagues are working on the academic requirements for a semester. And some of you, if you are interested, you please utilize this offer, because it's not that easy to get 10,000 USD as scholarship from an American university, especially for Indians. So now you have that offer. And I think you should make use of this opportunity because exposure for Indian students at the foreign level will be very it will be very rewarding for you also. It's an experience because they have excellent facilities, and once if you pay the fee, I think everything, your food, your hostel, your health, and your sports, your library, everything will be covered in that expenditure. Apart from your scholarship, you may have to pay the other fees prescribed by the university. So this is for your kind of information, and make use of this facility, and please inform your teachers so that if you're interested, you can start working on that, and in the next semester in 2026 you can spend 6 months in United States of America. Later on, we do not know whether you come back, whether you continue your postgraduate studies there, how to make your life, and all those things are different, but you have a golden opportunity to study in United States of America. This is for your kind information, because I was instrumental in inviting MGM, because I am a visiting professor in Bridgewater State University, so as media is concerned. So we had a very big convention in Bangalore where around 48 vice-chancellors of different universities of the country, they come and they signed an MOU, and this is the first offer which is given to MGM, and please make use of this opportunity. This is for your kind information, because you are in an excellent institution, and even your department is also very good. So this is for your information, and you can think about it and take a decision, because you have to carve your future, because all of you will be entering media, and I think speaking about media, it will take a lot of time. If I start from Indian media industry, or should I start from political communication, or the latest trends in Indian media industry, and the role of artificial intelligence. There are so many challenges before a student of media studies. But here, the first and foremost thing which you have to very clearly understand is whether it is political communication, whether it is international communication, whether it is development communication, corporate communication, whether it is agriculture communication. So there are so many issues of that kind. Whether you work in the film industry, you want to enter why a lot of you are yawning? Why my speech is bringing you sleep? Huh? See, media students should be very alert. If you yawn in a press conference, what will happen to you? You will lose a point. Okay, you should be very alert. Media students should be like mercury. You should be very sharp. Because immediately if I ask you, what was my last sentence, you should be in a position to repeat. That's why most of my students are scared to sit in my class. Because whenever I give them an assignment, I tell them, I give them the points for press con, they have to write. They have to take the bite. They have to edit. So when I ask them to repeat, they forgot and they say, our teacher is saying something. See, that will not work in the media. Every word, every sentence, the knowledge, what you acquire will take you to the newer heights. Be very serious. This generation, I'm repeating this, you have everything. We never had anything. Please take it from me. We never had good roads. We never had good food. We never had good drinking water. We used to drink all our well water. No distilled water, no filter water. All those things we didn't have. Even we didn't have our triple antigen, polio drops, nothing we had. See, we were born in a village. See, we never had anything, because when we were born, we had got the independence, and India was started its development. So luckily, nearly after 80 years of independence, this generation, you are so lucky. India is such a luckiest country where you have the young population, the maximum youngsters we have, and you have everything. You can't compare India with any other developed country. What is not there in India? Technologically, you're all well versed. All of you are very well connected. Nowadays, no connectivity. There is no telephone connections at all. We never used to dream of a telephone. We never used to dream of electricity. We never used to dream of getting a copy of a newspaper 6 o'clock in the morning. Now technology, everything is available with you. Your artificial intelligence is bringing everything with you. You can read a copy of the newspaper. You know the political developments. You can watch television, you can watch a movie, you can listen to whatever song you want now. In nowadays, it was not the case. We were waiting for a song to be on air by All India Radio. It was only All India Radio which was available for us. So now you have the option. Whatever you want, you can listen. Whatever you want, you can watch. See, that's the benefit you have. So make use of these benefits, and you have to grow. See, whatever the case may be, whatever the facilities you may have, but you have to stand on your own, and you have to earn. You have to get a very good position, and you have to uh, totally carve your future. And this generation may not like whatever we say, but it is a fact. Please don't forget the fact you're all very lucky to be in a media department. If you want to be a celebrity, it is possible only through media. If a cricketer becomes a celebrity, it is through media. If a film star becomes a celebrity, it is through media. Nowhere, if you are a very good YouTube communicator, you will be a celebrity. I think yesterday, Madam Dr. Professor Rekha, she took me to a restaurant where her student is a food blogger, and she enjoyed so much of respect in that hotel, and that fellow is a celebrity. Because of this department, he has become a celebrity. People will recognize you. Nowhere in the world. See, if you want to be recognized, if you want to be on the top, it's only through media. You have an excellent opportunity. So whether you are specialized in political communication, whether you are specialized in commercial communication, you are specialized in sports communication, and now the health communication is the need of the hour. Now health communication day by day is growing like anything. See, so if I want to talk to you about political communication, it's a very vast history. It started from 1947 to 2025. How many elections we have fought? How many prime ministers? See, for example, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first prime minister of this country. What was the status of media then? We had very few newspapers, all British era, except All India Radio. There is how to communicate the political messages. It was very, very tough. So Jawaharlal Nehru said, hey, we are going to develop this country. There were wars fought with China. Pakistan was always disturbing us. So Jawaharlal Nehru said, we have Panchvarshik Yojana, 5 years plan. He started building dams. He started industrialization and quite a lot of things. So Lal Bahadur Shastri said, Jai Kisan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. So in those days, they had lot of attachment with the Congress party, and continuously these political messages, they always wanted Congress, because Congress got independence to this country, and all the political campaigns went with Congress, and they won the elections. Then Indira Gandhi became the Prime Minister in 1967. And what was the election campaign? There was no media, no internet. All India Radio was not used for political purposes. Only few newspapers, and only public. It's a very big country, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. How many election campaigns does a Prime Minister candidate address in an election, for a parliamentary election? Assembly election is different. Then Indira Gandhi said, for the first time, what was the election campaign? What was the election slogan? And how to reach to the people? She said, Garibi Hatao. The first thing is Garibi Hatao. All Indians were dreaming, there is so much of poverty. No, not sufficient food. Unless we achieve green revolution, no sufficient food. See, poverty, if you suffer with poverty, only then you will understand. If you have everything, if you are hungry, only then you will understand the importance of hunger. Otherwise, you will not understand. So, Garibi Hatao, she swept the elections. Second election, later on, Garibi Hatao, whether Garibi Hatao or Garibon Ka Hatao, it's a lot of political analysts. They comment on the election campaign. She used to say, oh, Garibi Hatao, Bharat se Garib ki Hatao, Garib. Had to throw away poverty. That was the election campaign. See, the political messages, how it was propagated through media. So later on, she came to रोटी कपड़ा और मकान गरीब के चला गया अब 5 साल के साथ गरीब चला गया. See how they went on campaigning. They said roti kapda. If you give us vote, if we come to power, we will give you roti kapda or makan. Oh, people are all dreaming. Oh, we'll get good house, we'll get good food, and we'll get good clothes. And 5 years. See, that's all political campaigns which went on. So every election is fought with a slogan at every point of time. And later on it became unity and integrity, later it became, and there are a lot of slogans of that kind. So it was only in the year 2014, I think how BJP exploited the technology is a new experiment in political communication. How effectively they use social media, how effectively they campaign, see whether it is positive campaign, negative campaign. And what is the role of media? As and when the media started growing, you see the growth of media. See 1947 to 1975. If you look into the history of Indian media, it was one phase where Indian media was concentrating only on development. 75 to 77, you have what is called the era of emergency, where Article 19(1)(b) was imposed, 19(1)(a) was suspended. And we never had freedom. It was the government used to dictate the media. So 1977, again, the implementation of the bill on the floor of the Lok Sabha, Prasar Bharati, even today 2025, though we talk of autonomy of All India Radio, Doordarshan, it is under the government control. 77 में एक बिल लाया था लोक सभा में, even today it is in the control of the government. So 77 से 75, when the satellite was launched, which was Aryabhatta, the satellite communication started in this country, and the real era, real history of Indian media begins from 1980, when we started having satellites, performance of satellites in telecasting. The expansion of Doordarshan, television of entry of television to India. Television had entered India earlier. We had only black and white, very few sets with a transmitter. But 1980, rapid expansion of Doordarshan changed the whole scenario of Indian media industry. 80 to 90, it was the era of Doordarshan, where transnational television started entering in 90s, and now you could see the great growth of Indian media industry. From transformation, from manual printing to now you have the most sophisticated printing. Now you have all the multinationals. Now the entry of internet has brought us a new phenomena in the growth of Indian media, where you have both the positive and negative aspects. Especially if you just look into the growth of Indian media industry, it's very strange, where I think we have started dominating the globe. The positive, negative aspects are there, but it's a fact that the competition, privatization, commercialization, and there are so many concepts so far as Indian media industry is concerned. And we never used to call Indian media as an industry. It's a very important factor which you have to very clearly understand. After independence, we used to call it as Indian media, which was considered as social service. So after the entry of television, after the entry of internet, after the entry of transnational media houses, without the permission or without the legalization, it became a business, profit and loss making business. And for the first time, we started calling Indian media as an industry, and we are dominating the film. Indian film industry is dominating the globe. Television, we are dominating. Even the rise of social media, the rise of social networking sites. All Indians are very happily. I don't think any meaningful discussion is happening in your social networking site, social media. According to me, all Indians, we are very happily uploading our picnic photographs, anniversary photographs, our birthday photographs, and all our celebrations, and we are very happily chatting, speak India, speak. And we have started communicating with everybody using this technology. So nowhere in the world, you have so many mobile users with internet, and especially the age group, I think it starts from maybe middle school, from a LKG kid. Also, if a mother wants to feed the child, unless she gives mobile, it will not eat. That is the situation, which is sending a very alarming signal. But Indian media industry, you have both positive and negative. But Indian media is growing like anything. And please don't forget the fact that especially the Bollywood, the dominance of Bollywood, and the emergence of entertainment industry in India. These are the two things. Nowhere in the world you have such a strong and efficient, eminent entertainment industry compared to India. Nowhere in the world. Because I have traveled extensively throughout the globe. I see whenever I go to Europe, you see Indian television serials. Whenever I go to Arabic countries, I see Indian television serials and Indian films. When I go to Africa, I see Indian television serials and Indian films. So India, see, can you ever imagine the way Hollywood used to dictate? Hollywood used to dictate America. They used to dictate. There were 2, 3 countries in the world which they used to dictate the developing countries, all economically developing countries, through films. America always used to have war films, 5-man army. How many films? All Indians used to see all English films, though we never used to understand English. Still, we used to sit in a touring package. In our days, there was no multiplex. In our days, it used to be touring package. 30 paisa one film for a film. We used to sit and see English films, all war films. American Hollywood used to dictate. Oh, people, in American films, people used to sit in a car and they used to speak on the telephone. In Indians, poor fellows, we never had the landline. That was the situation. And all Chinese, they started with all kung fu, dash, dish, all Chinese films. Korean film, Japanese films. There's a lot of demand throughout the world. And after animation, America started producing Jurassic Park 1, 2, 3, 4, and they created an animal. They created an animal and they started hypnotizing the other part of the world. Second time, they started your mummy. They went to Egypt. They created a story. All animation, all animated films. People were all shocked to see the mummy, and they started mummy 1, mummy 2, mummy 3, mummy 4. Now, see, our Indian Nagini, whether it is in Marathi, Kannada, Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, Nagini 1, Nagini 2, Nagini 3, Nagini 4, throughout the world, nowhere in the world you have the episode of a cobra being converted to a girl or a boy or any character. It happens only in India, and there is a lot of demand throughout the world. Lot of demand. And now it is the Bollywood, all our films, whether it's Hindi films and even some of our South Indian films, they have a lot of demand. And now, for your kind information, Indian entertainment industry is so strong. We have created the 100% investment in FDI, foreign development investment. Earlier it used to be very less. Now, for your kind information, American Warner Brothers, all American film companies, 20th Century Fox, all important Chinese companies, all important Korean companies, and all important Japanese companies are in the queue to invest in the Indian media industry. That is the greatness of India. That we should never forget. A day was there when we were asking them to show some films. Now they are in the queue to invest in the entertainment industry, the Indian media industry. It's a fact. So why I am telling you all these things is because as a student of media, you have enormous opportunities. Most of us, you are not exploring the opportunities, enormous opportunities. If you are very creative, if you are very good in your language, if you are very good in your current affairs, you can join a television channel. If you are very creative, Bollywood will absorb you. If you are still intelligent, television. So all our television serials which are produced throughout the country are all students of media studies. students of journalism. There are a lot of film actors, music directors, a lot of producers, a lot of directors, CEOs of different companies. And most of the celebrities are all from media background. So we have a lot of job opportunities. And if you want to specialize in politics, you can be an excellent political communicator. You want to specialize in sports, you have a lot of demand. Lot of demand, you are very well paid. See, during our days, it was not remunerative. Now you are very well paid. Even if you are an excellent script writer for a serial, you are very well paid. There are a lot of job opportunities. You can be an excellent public relation officer. You can be in the corporate communication. You can join the government service. You can take up teaching. You can join a newspaper. You can be an editor. You can be a chief reporter. You can join. See, there are so many opportunities for students of media studies. And if you want to be an administrator also, media students you have excellent chance because you are very well versed with the current affairs. You will have good language. You can definitely appear for UPSC exams and you can be a very good administrator. So advantages for a media student is definitely earlier it used to be only English media. Now language media are much stronger. So you can't compare Marathi media with English media, Kannada media with English media, Hindi media with English media. See, language media is also very strong in this country and you have a lot of opportunities. Subject to condition, you should have curiosity, you should have command over the language. You want to survive in Maharashtra, you should have command over Marathi, you should have command over English. And you should know the current affairs. It should be on your fingertips. Don't be under the impression that Google Guru will give you everything. Now this generation is always tells me, sir, why to keep all those data in my brain? Google Guru will give everything. Google Guru will not give you everything. Artificial intelligence will not give you everything. You ask it, it will give 100 photos. You ask my name, you ask the artificial intelligence my name, it will give you 100 photos. How will you recognize it? It's only the human brain. So if you are really, if you have curiosity, if you are interested, if you have language, if you are hardworking, but you should be hardworking. If you are lazy, you can't survive in media. You can't postpone things because now it's a competitive world. Every minute is a deadline for you. So these are some of the important things which students of media studies should understand. There are, and if nothing happens, if you are an excellent YouTuber, I think a lot of our students are making a lot of money. Whether you concentrate on your food, your fashion, your travel, your health. I see a lot of them, all our village students, they have, whether it is politics, whether it is interpretation. So you can build your own empire. And I have seen a lot of my students, they have started employing 50 people, 60 people for running a YouTube channel, all specialized channel, health channel, there are a lot of demand for that. So there are a lot of opportunities, so which you have to think over, and luckily you are in an excellent department, excellent university, and in the field. And don't be under the impression that this media may not last long, even the newspapers. According to a survey, Indian newspapers will last for another 30, 40 years. Though in European countries they have disappeared, in India it is not possible. Though we read it on our mobile, we want a printed version to read again. So newspapers will continue, there's no doubt about it. Maybe here and there some modifications, digital media, this and that may change, but still there's a lot of future, and the future belongs to media, whatever the case may be. Whether it is health communication, political. See, in a democratic setup, without media, how will your political parties function? So political communication also, a lot of demand. Legal communication, you have a lot of demand. Sports communication, you have a lot of demand. Your fashion, nutrition. See, there are so many things which are very, very important. So depending upon the situation and depending upon your interest, you kindly carve your future. Nobody will come and give you the positions. It is only your hard work, it is only your sincerity, by the guidance of your teachers, by the blessing of your parents, you will reach the newer heights. Don't be under the impression that nobody will come and give you whatever position you want. You have to gain. Nobody will give you, because all our parents are dreaming. Oh, my son should become an excellent communicator. My daughter will be in a TV channel. My son will be a film director. All these dreams will be there. Parents will be dreaming about your future. So by the blessings of your teachers, by the guidance of your teachers, blessings of your parents, you have to attain newer heights. Only then we can build strong India. So next the days belongs to you, the period belongs to you. How effectively you build the nation is with you. But don't forget the fact it is the media which can build a healthy society. Why you are very, very important? Most of our media students who don't understand the importance of media. It is the media which will build a healthy society. And if you are in the media, definitely you can reform, you can bring out social change, and you can definitely change the whole situation. Everything is in the hands of the younger generation in this India, in our country. So how effectively you do it, you have to decide. So thank you for the opportunity.
I think that the politicians in the constitutions of this world, they have avoided having a freedom of press.
Because they own the media. You should understand the political ownership of media in different countries. All these political parties, they own the media. See, in the guise of freedom, in the guise of expression, in the guise of free press, in the guise of free media, you have what is called the political ownership of media. Each political parties, they have their own media. It started, it is not a new phenomenon in India. After independence, some political parties, they had their newspapers. Gradually, see, do you know what happened after the liberation of television in India? See, Government of India, we never liberated any electronic media. We never liberated radio. We never liberated the television. It was liberated on its own. Technology on its own got liberated. Government of India never gave permission to anybody. See, our law of the land was no individual or institution except the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India, is empowered to telecast or broadcast TV or radio signals from this soil. They left this soil and they went and sat in Hong Kong and they started using the satellites, Arabsat. They started throwing the signals. We started receiving the signals. Then what did they do? All political parties started one transponder and one Sun network was started by the DMK in Tamil Nadu. In Andhra Pradesh, some politicians started. In Kerala, everywhere, all political parties, they started on television channels. So if that is the case, most of them, they want, and now it is gradually shifted to corporate investments. So whatever they dictate, media personnel will do. So most of the time it is again the mindset of the population, mindset of the people in a democratic setup. If you are united, if you see whether in the media, whether as a communicator, tomorrow you will become a communicator. Whether will you give what the people want or will you give what is good for the people? There are two questions. So gradually it's a era of experiment. Another gradually in the once it's the saturation point, people will refuse and automatically it will come back to the square one. It will take some time. Just a era of experimentation everywhere.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. My question is a follow-up to the question of Mr. Boyd. Sir, my question is that it is enshrined in our Constitution, Article 19, that gives the freedom of expression and speech. All right, but in Article 19, Clause 2, it directs the state to curb the speech and expression if it hinders the government, if it hinders the national integrity and security. But as we have noticed, and it has been noticed that during the emergency period and during this current period, whatever speech goes against the government and against the ruling party, and so the state directly curbs the speech, and they directly eradicate that speech. So, do you think, sir, that we need a reform in media laws in our country?
No, you have to very clearly understand. You have to very clearly understand the provisions of Indian Constitution. Article 19(1)(a), 19(1)(b). 19(1)(b) is right because whenever there is an internal disturbance, Government of India has the powers to, whenever the country is facing a lot of threat or anything of that kind, I think it's right. But your question, I don't see where is the hindrance for Article 19(1)(a). I don't see anywhere. No state government, here and there, if it's the violation, if there is a derogatory remark, a defamatory remark, automatically anybody can file a case against any individual. But directly, I don't think any state governments can do that. Courts will not keep quiet. See, by chance, if the freedom of an editor is curtailed, immediately courts will interfere. It's not that easy. Maybe you may be talking of your IT Act and all those things, but here and there we need some discussion on this. And the last point which you asked was about the media laws. Can you ever imagine the days of emergency when Government of India started dictating, even the state governments, suspension of the Article 19(1)(a)? Where were we? All information officers used to come and sit in the editor's chair and they used to dictate, you should not do that. No, don't write this. No photo of this. No comment, no criticism. Whatever we say, you have to write. That's how they used to dictate. So even the Bhagalpur blinding incident happened. Nobody knew what was happening in emergency. Do you know what the Bhagalpur blinding incident? Bhagalpur, Bihar mein, kya ho gaya? All prisoners' eyes were destroyed by the jailers. Who is there to report if you do not have free media? See, positive negatives are there. I don't say that all Indian media industry is doing 100% right. You have positive as well as negative. But if you do not have the freedom at all, you do not know what is happening. Is it not? So by chance, if we allow the elected governments to bring out a legislation to control the media, tomorrow if you become the editor of a newspaper, if you write one line, they will arrest you. They will stop your publication. So we should not give the freedom to the government's legal hand. Should be very, very careful. Here and there, as media, we have to control ourselves. We have to look into what is right, what is wrong. Here and there are lapses. Like any other profession, there are lapses. I don't say 100% right. And I don't say that 100% is wrong also. See, can you ever imagine how many chief ministers went home because of the interference of media? Do you know? How many politicians are in jail because of media? Here and there. But once if you give them the power, once if you bring a legislation, they will not allow you to write even a single word. So that thing we should never do. So we ourselves should be self-sufficient. We have to understand. We have to impose some of the restrictions, some of the ethics on us, and we have to protect that independence, right of expression. Otherwise, once for all, it will be khatam hota hai. They will not allow you to do anything. Immediately they will arrest you. Once you give them the power. If somebody writes against an individual, 6 years imprisonment, 5 lakhs fine. If you bring a legislation, every day all the editors will be behind bars. That we will not do. So that's why I am against bringing any legislation to control the media. Nobody can control the media. It's only the people. It's the media professionals. We have to understand. Let us behave responsibly. The social responsibility theory, we invoke it, everything will be fine.
Hello, sir. We have seen a lot of times that media houses and very channels are running behind sensation. Also, during the COVID times, we were seeing the dead bodies burning. That footages were shown in the media houses. Also, during the Pelgam attacks, dead bodies were shown. And also I have the recent incident has happened in the Maharashtra, like a Vaishnavi Havane, daughter-in-law of a very big political family. She committed suicide because due to demand of by her in-laws for dowry. That's why her phone recording with her friend was played in the news channel. Do you think it is ethical, or it is do the media houses should do this for just TRP or the sensation?
See, basically, in the classrooms, we always talk of media laws, we always talk of ethics, we always talk of social responsibility and so many things. But unfortunately, because after the entry of transnational media and after the privatization of Indian media industry, because of this competition, because of this commercialization, there's a lot of competition to gain TRP because they have to survive. So in the guise of survival, they most of the time they forget the code of ethics. What are the do's and don'ts? See, for example, I'll give you an example. In the classroom, what do we say? Whenever there's a communal rights, you're not supposed to disclose the names of caste and religion. Is it not? By chance, a girl is affected, somebody, if she is affected physically, at any point of time, you are not supposed to disclose her name. Is it not? These are some of the ethical points which we want teaching. Whenever there is an accident, whether as a reporter will you go and that fellow will be lying there on the road. This fellow will go and ask, what happened? Where will you, from where this the truck? See that fellow needs first aid, medical facility. These report. All our students they do it. They go and they ask. There are dying fellow. You go and ask him. See, there the role of a journalist, the role of a reporter, you have to analyze whether will you admit him to a hospital or will you, in the guise of TRP, ask him and kill him? There are certain sensational things which are right or wrong. Whenever there are communal clashes, for example, and you go and shoot everything and you telecast. So, where are the ethics? So, most of the time, breach of ethics are happening. I don't say no, but we have to understand. That doesn't mean to say that tomorrow, as he quoted, if I bring a law where you should not show this, you should not show that. It's facts are sacred, but comment is free. Is the old slogan from our days. And if you see, for example, terrorist attack and other things, I don't think you have to report. Nah, I don't think that's. But whenever there is a personal case of dowry and other things, they should take care. They cannot defame a family. They cannot, and it has happened most of the time. So ethical values needs to be strengthened more. But unfortunately, what happens again, as I told you, it is a era of competition. Everybody wants to survive. And now the challenge before your the TV channels or your newspaper or anybody is how to retain your viewer. We have around 2000 television channels with me in my remote. What do? I go on seeing what is here, what is there, what is there. Now you also go to YouTube. That displays YouTube, TV channels, 2000 channels, Kannada channel, Marathi channel में क्या हो रहा है, मुंबई में क्या हो रहा है, दिल्ली में क्या हो रहा है, बेंगलुरु में क्या हो रहा है, Telugu channel, Marathi channel, Tamil channel, songs. You go on surfing. What should the communicator do? The successful one is who can retain a viewer with him. And how will you retain? If you say all, see in the classroom, if I see in the beginning, I tell you do's and don'ts. People are not old thing. If you say something sensational, something negative, oh, what is happening? What is happening? So they want to attract, and they are breaching the ethical part. That needs to be analyzed. We have to sit for the academicians, industry should sit, we have to discuss and we should see to it ethically. We don't cross the framework. That's very, very important. Tomorrow, if you become the producer also, what will you do? I am the owner of a TV channel. You will be the chief of bureau. I have invested crores of money. I'll say, somehow, hey, कोई मसाला नहीं है story में, so masala mix करो. See, I have seen a lot of my students, they own TV channels in Karnataka. Almost all the CEOs are our students. There was one North Indian who was heading a Kannada TV channel, and suicide of a housewife. The story came. ये क्या मसाला कुछ नहीं है रे क्या suicide of a housewife who will see your TV. Then they created a character. They said there's some boyfriend, some illegal. People will say nothing. All creating. See, this type of breach of ethical values is not right. So masala कोई नहीं, very very soft story है ये story नहीं चाहता. So masala add करो. क्या masala add करो? See what we say in the class. It is none of our business. It is none of our business to misguide our readers. Don't create ambiguity among our viewers. All your breaking news, our all students, every day I scold around 10, 12 people. They say, air crash, 100 killed. After 10 minutes also, I will not say where, when, why. Something has happened in Greece, madam. Our Kannada channel, he breaks news, breaking news. Air crash, aeroplane has crashed, 100 people killed. Where? And the fellow, I think normally we'll be traveling now from here to there. What should a viewer think? Whether it is in India or somewhere, which state, which flight. See, it is none of our business to create ambiguity among the viewers. After 10 minutes also, I will not say. After 20 minutes, he will say, Greece mein ho gaya. By the time our BP will go. So these are some of the things which you have to be very, very careful. And sometimes what our students do, they don't cross-check. They say Google, ask Google Guru. Some name, Suresha. He will click for Suresha. And some other Suresha will come and this fellow will break. That fellow, he will come to the studio and say, hey, I am Suresha, I am still alive. I say, why you are showing that I am dead? This is what's happened 2-3 times. The one, I think I gave an example last time. When was sitting MLA, they were showing he died. And that fellow came. That fellow directly came to the TV studio and they said, why you are showing my name? Why, what is this nonsense? The Google Guru said, sir, some Suresha. He clicked Suresha. That Google Guru said, MLA as a constituency. This fellow started breaking. So what is the first lesson we teach in the classroom? What is the first lesson? You should be a watchdog. You have to cross-check. If you do not know, don't hesitate to ask somebody. Cross-check. Otherwise, your channel will lose credibility. Your newspaper will lose visibility. These are some of the basic things. And now, this generation has started forgetting all our theories of communication, which is creating a lot of disasters. Have I answered your question?
Mentioned that you were the member of scientific committee of the first international forum of the media and information literacy constituted by the UNESCO itself. This year the 5th international forum will be taking place in the Colombia. So some of our fellow mates are participating in the MIL.
Excellent.
I request you if you can give us some suggestion, overview and ideas for our that will help our participation in sure.
See, basically, we believe that it's only through media literacy, I think we can solve certain problems. So we are fighting for the cause to introduce media literacy at the elementary level, at the national. We wanted, and we are fighting for 2 things. One is introduction of subjects from the elementary level, subject of media literacy for elementary or +2 level and even the undergraduate. Second thing is we are also fighting for what is called Media Education Council of India to bring about change in the different universities and departments. And according to me, I think most of the Indian psyche is whatever we say we believe. People automatically we believe. And that's how the American people have created a concept called false news. You can't use the word false. Anything false cannot be used at all. But still, they somehow use their American English. This come. So if you teach people how to absorb the media messages, which means media literacy, I think a lot of our problems will be. And the basic challenge for any communicator involved in media literacy is you don't have a homogeneous group. You can check your media students. What is their educational background? Some people might have studied commerce, some people might have studied science, some people might have studied arts. Is it not? So, since it's a heterogeneous group, it is very difficult to communicate with them. So, somehow, what we have to do is we should become the volunteers to spearhead the movement of media literacy. What is this message? How to evaluate this message? See, in the beginning, what we do, whenever you get a message, what is the first thing you have to do? You have to check, cross check, weigh, and you have to give it a mileage, whether it is 1 point, 2 points, or 100 points. People will not weigh nothing doing. One software engineer and his wife are fighting, that becomes the lead of a newspaper. See, that's what's happening. So it is only through propagating the cause of media education, definitely, a country like India, we can bring about change. There's no doubt about it. Media literacy is the only answer. Otherwise, nobody can help this country. Very, very difficult. So, even UNESCO, we are taking up a lot of projects also. I'm also attached with MIL of American universities, 2-3 universities. We are working on that, but still it's very difficult, especially in India. We have a lot of language barriers. We need a lot of volunteers and a lot of. And if you introduce a subject as a text, I think we may solve 15-20% of the problem. It takes time. It's not that easy. Okay, thank you.
Sir, as you mentioned that most of the media houses are interested in rising their TRP, and common people like spicy news. So, how are we supposed to stop spreading the fake news and leading towards misinformation? Like, because of spicy news, we spread most of the misinformation. So, how are we supposed to attract common people to the real news rather than spreading the spicy news?
No, people will automatically know. Most of the time, what happens, even educated people will be, because we'll be working in pressure, under pressure. See, for example, some examination, NEET examination. All our medicos, what they do, they create a document and they release it on the social media. They put all the logo, Government of India. They say it is postponed. So what should I do? Should I believe or should I not? Basically. So there gradually we have to, and the Google and others, they started their training, and you go, you check, and then we will say that it is false or true and all those things. But gradually, so immediately what we do, we cross-check with the parallel sources and we come to know it's fake. So once if you get a fake information or it is a false information, I think you should immediately give a parallel answer to that. Automatically it will be solved. But in the beginning, even all of us are confused, because you do not, unless it is rectified, how do you know? It may be true, it may be false. Is it not? In COVID, what did they do? They said, if you have vaccination, we will have this, that, all rumors. Rumor spreading will happen. But we should not forget the fact that the media played a very important role in COVID in India. That contribution we should not forget. Most of the time, what we do is we have only negative aspects and negative attitude towards media. But there are positive aspects also. So can you ever imagine the role played by media during COVID? How many journalists were killed during COVID? How many of them lost jobs? How many magazines and newspapers stopped their publication? A lot of sacrifices. But whenever there is A small false, and if you find out, don't keep quiet. Immediately you have to counter. Automatically it will go away. Most of us, what we do, Aya, why we should do Indian psyche. If there is some dust there, we think let our municipality, corporation walas, they have to come and pick the waste paper. No, it is my classroom, my department, my university. I have to clean it. My responsibility. Or go and put it in the dustbin. Indian psyche, they will not do. They throw away, that municipality walas will come and say, why should we? See, this attitude, and whenever you come to know that there is some wrong information is being spread, immediately you have, immediately react, it will go automatically. That's the only answer for that. If you keep quiet, another 10,000 people will be misguided.